All right, well, boys and girls, this is going to be our first quiz of the year. And what you need to do is you need to follow along as I go through this quiz. In fact, as I go through the problem, you should have a piece of paper that you're writing this problem down on so that when I'm done going through this quiz with you, you can go back and solve the problem. And then you go onto the Google Classroom and take the quiz. The quiz will just be multiple choice. The quiz will not have these questions as the question. Again, just like we have been doing, it'll say something like, what is the answer to number 1? And you'll have to go back to this video or the paper that you took from this video and look back to see what you got for number 1. And it'll be multiple choice like they have been. So I'm going to walk through the quiz with you right now. Find the absolute value. Now this quiz obviously is going to be one of the more simple quizzes of the year because we've just started, but do take your time on it because it's so nice to get 100% on the first quiz, go in strong, and do not rush through this. So number 1, the absolute value of 7. So now what is the absolute value of 7? I'm not going to give you the answer obviously, but you'll write down absolute value of 7 and you're going to put whatever answer you come up with right there so that when you go back to the multiple choice, you can just insert it into the multiple choice or select the one that has the right answer. I do want to, just quick reminder, no absolute value will ever be negative. Just quick little hint there. Number 2, the absolute value of negative 32 equals, and you're going to put the answer right there so you can go back into the quiz and write the right answer. Again, remember, when you find the absolute value of a number, your answer cannot be negative. Now, a couple of the multiple choice answers will be negative, and hopefully you're not one of the ones that choose those. Number 3 says complete the statement using less than, greater than, or equal to. So the question is, for number 3, 5 is what? Then the absolute value of negative 7. Now remember, you should be thinking the value of 5 is, of course, 5, and the value of the absolute value of negative 7 is 7. So we know that 5 is less than 7, so we go up here and we put that up for the answer. Okay, so I kind of gave you that one. Sorry, I can't help myself sometimes. I will not give you the next one. Number 4, the absolute value of negative 1 is blank, then the absolute value of negative 10. Again, you should put what values these have, figure it out for those, and then it's the same answer up here. Number 5. So number 5 is a little more involved, but not really, but a little more, but not really. So we have to order these from least to greatest. I like to think of temperatures. We'll go from the coldest temperature to the warmest temperature. But we have to write down what these values are first. So the value of the absolute value of negative 1 is 1. The value of the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. The value of negative 3 is just negative 3. The value of 7 is 7. And the absolute value of 0 is 0. So now here are the values that these have. I'll be thinking of those, but these are the symbols I have to put in order from least to greatest. So make sure you do that. Number 6. For number 6, you deposit $25 into your savings account. 1 week later, you withdraw $37. Write each amount as an integer. So do not add or subtract these numbers and try to figure out how much is in your bank account now. It's impossible to do because it doesn't say where you started. It doesn't ever tell you what your balance was. Here is what you have to do. You deposited $25, so you're going to write that as either plus 25 or negative 25. And remember, to deposit it means you put it into your bank account. Over here, withdraw $37 means you took $37 out of your bank account. And you will write that as either positive 37 or negative 37. So you're just going to write down two integers. The first one will either be positive or negative 25, and the second one will either be positive or negative 37, and then that's it. Don't do anything else for that problem, or you're going to get it wrong, because that's all you're supposed to do. For number 7, these say, evaluate the expression by adding or subtracting. Quick reminder on the rules. Same sign, add and keep. Different sign, subtract. Keep the sign of the larger number part. Okay, so let's look at this one. Different sign. So number 7 is negative 10 plus 5. So since these have a different sign, you'll subtract the number part, and then you're going to keep the sign of whichever one of these has more. Are there more negatives? Then you make it negative. Are there more positives? Then you make it positive. And that's what you'll get for number 7. For number 8, remember 10 minus negative 7. I see 2 minuses next to each other, and we turn that into a big plus. This problem just became 10 plus 7. And hopefully, you can probably do that one right in your head. Number 9, negative 4 minus negative 4. Again, 2 minuses next to each other. I'm going to go ahead and do something like that. This problem just became negative 4 plus 4. Different signs, so subtract. Number 10. Negative 3 plus negative 8. Same sign, so I add the number parts and I keep the sign. So same sign, add and keep. Number 11. Negative 2 plus 11. Different signs here. Because they're different signs, one's a negative, one's a positive. Different signs, I subtract the number part, and I keep the sign of whichever one of these numbers has a larger absolute value. Are there more positives, or are there more negatives? Number 12. 1 minus 6. Lots of kids are going to get this one wrong. They always do, but not you, because you are thinking this is different signs. This is a negative. This is a positive. Different signs, so I subtract, and everybody gets that part right. But don't forget, you keep the sign of whichever one has more. Are there more negatives, or are there more positives? Okay, so that's where you put that answer for number 12. Number 13, we're almost done here. This one says your bank account has a balance of negative $10. So now we do know the balance. It's negative 10, and that's not good. But you run down and you deposit or put in $30. What's your new balance? So if you add these two integers, you'll find your new balance. Remember, different sign, so you subtract the number part, and you keep the sign of the larger. Last problem, number 14. It says m minus negative 2. And the first thing I'm going to do, I know you're probably thinking, I see what m is, negative 4, put that in there. But I can't help myself. I've got a minus and a negative right next to each other. I turn that into a big plus because that's just how I roll. Now I'll rewrite this problem. M equals negative 4, so it becomes negative 4 plus 2. And I'll let you take it from there. It's much like the problems up above. That's it. There are only 14 problems. If you have to, you could always go back and watch this video again if you missed one of them, as far as writing it down. But you solve the problems on your own and then go take the multiple choice quiz that is on our Google Classroom. Have a great day.